UVA Community Credit Union is a member-owned, not-for-profit financial cooperative that has proudly served Central Virginia since 1954. Our primary mission is to promote financial wellness and focus on people, not profits, by supporting the needs of our members and investing in the communities we call home. Learn more at uvacreditunion.org. Welcome to our Raising Money Smart Kids series. In this video, we will cover topics to help you teach core financial subjects to elementary age learners. So, money is a part of everyday life, and the earlier kids start learning about it, the more confident and capable they'll become. Teaching elementary students about money helps them develop smart habits early, like saving, budgeting, and making thoughtful choices. At this age, kids are beginning to understand the value of things and can start learning how money works in the real world. Lessons about earning, spending, and needs versus wants help build a strong foundation for financial responsibility. Just like reading and math, financial literacy is a skill that grows over time. So when we teach kids about money in elementary school, we're laying a strong foundation and giving them tools that they'll use for a lifetime. So, we are going to continue to build on some of the previous lessons that we discussed during the pre-K session, but we're going to amp them up a little and incorporate more challenging topics like budgeting and delayed gratification. So, I know we probably all heard of the save, spend, and share jars. This is a great hands-on way to teach kids how to manage money. It's fun, it's visual, and by dividing their money into three clear categories, kids start to understand the basics of budgeting, goal setting, and keeping track of things. So, obviously, the first jar, saving, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but the sharing jar, of course, is going to encourage kindness and empathy by giving to others or causes that they care about. The spending jar will help them learn to make choices for themselves and see the immediate result of their decisions. The savings jar can help you emphasize the value of saving by introducing the concepts of goal setting and interest. So, to introduce interest, one easy method you can use is to just kind of set the rate. For example, tell them for every dollar that they save, you will add a dime as interest. It's a small but powerful way to show them that money can grow over time when they save instead of spend. So to help them see the growth clearly, you may want to keep that interest in a separate jar. The visual approach will help them watch their savings and interest grow together and hopefully help them build excitement as they watch the jars fill up. Over time, they'll learn that the more they save, the more they earn, laying the foundation for the basics of understanding how real world savings and interest work. This is also a good time to build on the concept of saving for something important. So, attention span is still pretty short at this age. So, you're going to work with them to create a small short term goal, like buying a book, a special toy, treat, something that they want that is meaningful and affordable, maybe something they can save for within a few weeks. Then look up the cost together. Write it down. Talk about how much they'll need to save each week for that item. Along with the savings jar, you may want to use a visual tracker like a sticker chart or a sheet to mark the progress along the way. This also starts to lay the foundation for keeping track of your money as you're working towards a goal. When they hit their target, celebrate their success. Take them out, buy the toy, show them that savings does pay off, and then you work on your next goal. Consider increasing the timeline. So they're learning to wait for something that's important, that's going to reinforce that messaging. Elementary school is a great time to also kind of start the discussion about how people earn money. Where does that come from? Start by introducing the concept of jobs and careers. So, most adults have a job. A job is something you do to help others and earn a living. In return, you get paid money. Use real life examples. Talk about what you do for a living, what other people in your family do, or, when you're out in the community, teachers, nurses, delivery drivers, etc., talk about their job and how they contribute to society to help everything run and earn a living. Then you have the discussion on how you get paid. So, for example, you might tell them that when you get paid, your employer sends money directly to your bank account. It's called direct deposit. Some people get paid with a check and then they have to take it to their bank and deposit it in their account. The next time you withdraw money from the ATM or use your debit card, reinforce that message and let your child know that you're using your own money that you earned from working. It's in your bank account. Your employer paid you. You're just using the money that you have in your account. These everyday moments are great teaching opportunities, and they help kids start to connect the dots between work, money, and spending. So, speaking of spending, everyday errands like grocery shopping can be great opportunities to help kids start to learn about spending wisely. At the store, show them how to check prices on items. At this point, you're keeping it pretty simple, just basically pointing out the price tag, talk about items that cost less and more, maybe why they cost less and more, based on size, brands, other characteristics. Explain sales. Say, this item is usually $3, but today it's on sale for $2. So that means if we need it and we buy it today, we could potentially save money. Talk about comparing prices and quality. So, if you see some produce on sale, these bananas, you might say, cost a little less today, but if you take a look, they're a little brown and they may not last very long. So this helps them begin to understand not just the price, but the value of items and why you're making those decisions. If your child wants to buy something, take a moment to have a conversation with them. Is it a need or is it something that you want? Why is it something you want? If you spend your money now, what might you have to give up on later? Like if you're saving for something bigger, will this get in the way of that savings goal? These questions encourage kids to just start thinking about things before they spend and, creates a habit that hopefully lasts a lifetime and reinforces thoughtful choices. You're also going to continue reading with your kids. This is a great opportunity to kind of not only have some great one on one time, but have discussions about more advanced financial topics. So, to find age appropriate content, Jumpstart for Financial Literacy Clearinghouse and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, both have great reading lists for elementary school students. And in addition to the recommended stories and downloadable reading guides on the CFPB website, they also have a free Money Monster series that can be downloaded and shared on your e-reader. So highly recommend you visit those sites to check those resources out. We also have at UVA Community Credit Union a great series called It's a Money Thing Junior. This is a video-based financial education program designed for elementary school students, providing them with simple age-appropriate lessons on making saving and spending more relatable. Takes these complex financial concepts and addresses them in a fun way. The videos are under 3 minutes, but they're chocked full of important money lessons. And kids really seem to respond to that because we all know you have different learning methods. And as you combine, say, reading, watching, and doing things by hand, all those things kind of come together to reinforce those messages. So I highly encourage you to check out It's a Money Thing Junior on our website. Then, of course, engage them, make it fun. One great way to kind of start teaching your kids about smart spending is, something as easy as a generic versus name brand taste test at home. Start by picking up a few grocery items that come in both name and generic options like cereal, crackers, yogurt, juice, etc. Whatever they like, right? Buy both versions of each product. When you get home, remove the packaging and pour them into small cups or bowls, label them A or B, and then let your kids taste each one and vote on their favorite. You can make it a little more complicated or a little elevated by adding, different factors such as appearance, taste, texture, etc., whatever you think will resonate with that product. And then after the taste test, they'll pick their favorite. Then you can reveal which is the name brand, which is the generic, and compare the prices. This is a fun, hands-on way to show that not, the most expensive item is not necessarily always the best. And it helps them begin to understand how to make thoughtful spending choices. Gamifying is another way to keep money lessons fun. So, Visa's Practical Money Skills, Cash Puzzler, or Coin Match games found in the Learning Center at mycreditunion.gov are great little online activities that can kind of reinforce all the things that they've been learning along the way. All right, next video is going to cover middle school students.